using recommendhr.com and how you will earn money with it. Recommendhr.com is a service provided by Gnostics GmbH in Switzerland. What is recommendhr.com? Recommendhr.com allows to recommend people for jobs in companies in which the recommender is working. The recommender then profits from using his personal network to gain new employees for his and her company, and also financially from successful applications. Promoters of recommendhr.com profit as well. And how does this work? The roles we have is the applicant who searches a new job, the recommender who works in a company and will recommend the applicant because he knows her or him personally, and the promoters. The current solution is that in a company C there works a recommender, he knows the applicant, and there is a job, an open position in the company C. What currently happens is that the applicant applies for a job. Whether the recommender recommends him or not, he will get the job, and the recommender in most companies will get nothing from this. Even when there is a personal risk involved for the recommender when he tells the applicant to apply for the job. The solution is recommendhr.com. The applicant and the recommender both open a case together in recommendhr.com, and when all the data is filled in, the applicant sends the dossier or the case to the company. When the application was successful, the company pays a fee, which goes partly to the recommender, another part goes to a charity paid on behalf of the applicant, and also the promoters of the two persons, the ones that invited the applicant and the recommender to have an account on recommendhr.com will profit. So how do you start? You go to the web page, you start a case either as a recommender or as an applicant, or you become a promoter. You fill in, when you create a new case, you have to fill in information. The most important is the email address of the applicant, the recommender and the company. These three informations are needed to save the case. Then you start filling in all tabs with recommendee information, information about the recommender, the company. First you have to get rid of the red traffic lights. What is important to note, there is some information that can only provided be either by the applicant or the recommender. When the case is first saved, emails are sent to the recommender and the applicant with login information if some of the information is filled in later. As said, there are fields that can either only be filled by the recommender or by the applicant. For instance, the letter of recommendation, the payment information, the information if the recommender wants to stay anonymous. On the other side, the applicant, the desired salary, the charity, the motivation letter and the CVs are not shown to the recommender. Sending the application to the company can only be done by the applicant, and only when all traffic lights are green. Sending is done on the current state tab, where there is also additional information about what happened. Also resending of invitation letters can be done there. On that tab, the information that is not sent is here. The case can be previewed as showed here and then sent. The company then gets an email from recommendhr.com with a link to the application, and by clicking it they must agree to the terms and conditions, which means essentially that when the application is successful they will have to pay for all other parties, which is nothing out of the ordinary when they are headhunters involved. So we think that the risk the recommender has and all he has done and the information he provides, that this is not the normal loyal behavior of employees, but that this must be rewarded especially. That's the business case of recommendhr.com. They log in, they have again to accept the terms and conditions, they enter the personal code, the password, and then they can log in. And then they see a job application. They can download it as PDF, but what must be noted that the CVs, here is only an example, must be downloaded separately. The rest of the process is then straightly forward. It is the usual one. The applicant gets informed by email when the company accesses the case, and when the company sees merit in the application, then the usual process with interview and all the rest follows. The company must inform recommendhr about the successful application, and some months later, when it's clear that the new position is working out, the company will have to pay recommendhr.com according to the terms and conditions. This is a short overview of the current table of who gets what and who has to pay what. It is part of the terms, the general terms and conditions, and can be shown on that web page. So if it's changed, it is written there. So we hope to see you soon on recommendhr.com. Have a nice day.